Kryptonite, and today we have us Sissy Kryptonite and Katie Kryptonite. This is Shanty Speaks, and today we are going to be breaking down our top fives each. Horror movie, not quite, but rather our favorite Halloween movies. The horror movies are going to be a thing for next week. So this week we're going to be talking about the movies that really get us in the Halloween mood. So we're not necessarily going to sit here and focus strictly on things that make us scared, but rather things that just really get us in that October mood. But each of us are going to break down our top five. We're going to discuss them a little bit, and hopefully we won't go over 15 minutes, but who knows, we'll see. So first off, we're going to start out with Katie's number 5 pick.
So my number 5 is The Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. And it's about a photographer put on bed rest, and he begins spying on his neighbors through his rear window and thinks that he might see a murder, but can't convince anyone else that this murder has happened.
So The Rear Window. When did you first see this movie?
I saw it in my film class junior year, so like 2 years ago.
Film class junior year. And what really brings this to make you feel like it's a really Halloween-esque movie?
I like the suspense in it. You never really know, like, is he just crazy or is he actually seeing this murder happen?
Is it one of those types of movies that really keeps you on edge? And that's one of the big things for like Halloween time, that you really have to make people a lot of times feel uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's definitely one of those types of movies that does that kind of thing. You know, when you're trying to make sure that it's not just, oh, you're scared. It's the unease. Like when you're going through a haunted house or something like that, you almost have that tingle about yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So is there anything else you'd like to say about your number 5?
I don't think so, other than I think that it's a really great movie for Halloween.
It's a really great Halloween movie. All right. So let's go to Sissy Kryptonite. What is your number 5?
Mine has absolutely nothing to do with being scary or, anything like that. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's a classic.
Oh, exactly. It's one of those, it's, especially if you have kids, or it brings you back to whenever you were a kid. And I feel like, it brings back that spirit of it all. And one of my biggest issues with Halloween was always, how am I going to celebrate with the kids without just going crazy with these boring or just so
Right.
childish TV shows.
So because you have 2 kids, so it's one of those things when you have a 4 and a 5-year-old, you have to find something that's not necessarily gonna like spook them so much, which is also fun. You can let your dog out if need be.
Thank you.
They understand. Everyone watching, she has a dog. She has to go let out. But yeah, it's important to definitely have a spirit of Halloween-esque movie.
For all
Without
ages.
it, for all ages, that's really important. Now, my number 5 movie is definitely not for the kids, as much as it might look that way. My number 5 movie is called Hell and Back. I first found this movie on Netflix while I was in the Navy. One of my buddies, we were just surfing Netflix one late night, and he put me on this movie, and it's claymation, but it's a T.J. Miller film, and it's very crude. Mila Kunis plays like this really slutty kind of like demon girl in it. It's very, very crude, but very, very funny. But it's about these guys that one of their buddies ends up being sent to hell over something as silly as, I bet you this, and if I lose, I'll give you a piece of my bubble gum. Well, he loses the bet and refuses to give his friend that piece of bubble gum, so he gets sent to hell, and his 2 friends go to try and get him in. Like, the devil in it is very similar to like South Park, with a really kind of flamboyant-esque kind of devil character, and that type of thing always entertains me. So it's one of those movies that it's not scary, but it's also not for kids. So if you're one of those types of people that's not looking to be scared, but you also want like the spooky aesthetic of like demons and angels and so on and so forth, I strongly suggest it, especially if you're looking for like a really scary, almost kind of movie, but not quite to the point you're ever going to get scared. It's just like spooky aesthetic more than anything. So let's go on to Katie's number 4.
My number 4 is Corpse Bride, because I feel like Corpse Bride is more of a Halloween movie for Tim Burton fans. And it really just gets me in the mood for all the Halloween spookiness that comes with, most Tim Burton's movies. It has, like, most of them have a horror aspect, but it's not so much horror that it's considered a horror movie.
I definitely feel you on that one, and just so if anyone didn't know, we have a rule for doing our countdowns. You can't group together the same thing, so you couldn't do 5 Tim Burton films. You couldn't just break down all of the Halloween movies, so when it comes to a Corpse Bride, that's a great pick, because a lot of people would jump over to Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, we even have a few things on the set here from Nightmare Before Christmas, but when it comes down to it, that movie is a lot more of a Christmas movie when it comes down to it. It's more like Christmas, but aesthetically just creepy Tim Burton.
Right.
But The Corpse Bride, I definitely feel, is one of those types of movies that does go out of its way to definitely try and keep with the theme. And one of the things I love about that film in particular is the fact that you have the living world is so drawn down and depressing, but then you get to like the afterlife and everything is more poppy and it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing and happy to see. So it's an interesting contrast to see while you're still getting the claymation. So I definitely feel you on that one.
Right.
What do you think about The Corpse Bride?
Honestly, it wasn't one of my favorite Tim Burton movies, but I really like it. It does have more of a Halloween feel later than Nightmare Before Christmas.
Would you say you like it more than Nightmare Before Christmas?
I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm not the biggest fan either, so I understand.
Sorry.
It's one of those things. We're the minority in the nerd community. In all honesty, I fight people on it all the time.
But I will say, to interrupt you, since we're talking about Christmas movies and movies that are nowhere near related to Christmas movies,
Yeah.
My number 4 that is not a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie according to Sissy Kryptonite.
It's nowhere near a Christmas movie. It is about murder and witches and goblins and giants and ghosts
And werewolves.
and werewolves. Well, there's no werewolves in this one, so it's very Halloween-y.
Oh, is it?
It is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I still think it's a Christmas movie.
It is not. You think murder on Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Witches and so on and so forth and blah 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 blah.
Halloween.
Yeah. You can try and convince me. I'm gonna fight you tooth and nail on it.
You were lied to as a child.
Blame it on Fox Family. Yeah, I'm old. It used to be called Fox Family. Now it's like Freeform or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But so why does this one really bring you into the Halloween? Not just being a Harry Potter movie, but above the other Harry Potter movies. What really makes you feel like this is the one that encompasses Halloween over the other ones?
It's not necessarily that this one specifically, because the other ones that I feel like focus more on Halloween, they do have a good portion of Christmas in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whimsicalness, or is that how you pronounce it?
You could say whimsy.
Yeah, of it all. It's whenever I think of Harry Potter, I think of Halloween times, and my favorite is the first one. So it's just one that I associate myself.
I can understand that. Well, like I've said, it's definitely a lot of Fox Family's fault. The why I see the Harry Potter films as Christmas movies, because they marathon those movies
Like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
during the holidays.
And plus, anytime you can make an excuse to watch Harry Potter.
I definitely understand that. We're definitely going to be having a breakdown soon of our personal orders of what we think the Harry Potter films should be in, because there's going to be a lot of dispute on that one. I can already tell a lot of people look for different things with that series. Obviously, when you see it as a Halloween movie and I see it like, oh, it's Christmas time, let's Harry Potter this up, You know, obviously people are looking at different aspects of Harry Potter, but you know, you have that giant, you know, beautiful, shining house. But speaking of the shining, that's actually my number 4. So you like that segue? And that was a good segue. I'm gonna claim that. I'm gonna put in the puns every once. The Shining is my number 4, guys, and it is because when I think Halloween, you think that haunted house. And as much as the Shining movie, the Stanley Kubrick film, The Shining, doesn't really fit to the original Stephen King book, it just has a certain feel to it. That creepiness, the fact that the leading actress in it was pretty much tortured through the entire filming to keep her in constant anxiety, and you feel that in her. Nicholson in that just plays off that beautiful insane that he does so well. It just puts you at unease, like anyone you know could just snap. And that's the type of thing that I look for on Halloween sometimes, is that scary horror, like house, to where everyone is just going insane in it, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to me. And then you have the little kid, which it's before the little kid thing got drawn out, because now every movie has the creepy kid, but that's the red rum kid, you know. Before, everyone else was, you know, spinning the kid's head around and, you know, making them crawl up the wall like a contortionist and everything like they do these days. That's the movie.
Because Batmans are scary.
Batmans are scary, you know. But what do you guys think about The Shining? Do you have any thoughts on that movie?
I love The Shining. It really shows Stephen King's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he was there. He experienced ghosts while, you know, he was staying in this hotel, and really just embraces that in not only the book but also the movie. I mean, it's an amazing example of Stephen King.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. Have you seen that? You never seen it?
Shame.
We'll show it to you soon.
I was
We'll even
gonna try to
review it.
bullshit it, but I was like,
We'll even review it with you. I feel like the most of The Shining you've seen at this point is Ready Player One. We'll show it to you soon. It's a magnificent movie. I'm sure one of my streaming services even have it. So
Oh yeah.
it's a great movie. I'm gonna probably I don't know if I'm gonna have time to take it down this month to read it, because I'm also about to start The Stand. So and that's a long book. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough time. So let's get into Katie Kryptonite's number 3. This is one I know nothing about.
I am a weird person and I like obscure movies. So my number 3 is called Pontypool, and I'm going to take the description of it straight off of Google. So when a disc jockey named Grant Mazzy reports to his basement radio station in the Canadian town of Pontypool, he thinks it's just another day at work. But when he hears reports of a virus turning people into zombies, Mazzy barricades himself in a radio booth and tries to figure out a way to warn his listeners about the virus and its unlikely mode of transmission, the English language. So quite literally, everyone is turning into zombies by different words in the English language, and the only reason why he's really surviving is because he knows multiple languages.
Okay, so they have to say something specific in the English language to turn them into a zombie?
Yes, and everyone has different words that trigger them.
Oh, okay.
I want a comedy version of that.
It sounds comedic in itself.
There's some points of it that are very comedic, and then there's some points of it that are kind of shake you to your core. You're not expecting it.
How recent is this film? Is it?
It's an older film.
It's an older film. Okay.
Yes.
Are we talking 80s or 70s?
Probably 80s. I'm not
80s.
quite sure though.
Okay, so
Don't quote me.
Is it high production, or is it more of a B movie?
Oh, very much a B movie. Did not make very much in the box office at all.
Okay, I like my B movies, and the more stupidly obscure that they
Oh,
can
yeah.
be, the more fun that they can be, because you can sit back and laugh about it, especially if you have some friends with you, have a few drinks, and be like, hey, we're gonna watch
Oh,
a
yeah.
movie where a guy said toadstool and now he's a zombie for some reason.
Exactly. Well, like I said earlier, I actually reviewed this movie in a film class that I took way back when. and nobody knew this movie,
Nobody
but
knew it.
our teacher was just obsessed with this movie. He's like, this is the best movie of all time.
Was it the teacher that put you onto it? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was
That makes
amazing.
sense. That makes sense. And, I mean, it's one I haven't seen yet. So, I mean...
We'll have to check it out.
I recommend. Yes.
I mean, so is it one of those types of movies where, like, is it like a ton of death type of movie?
Not necessarily, just a lot of spreading of the infection.
Spreading of the infection.
There are some moments where you get jolted by people dying,
Okay.
which, no spoilers or anything, so.
Alright, so you basically, you would, well, I mean, at least you're getting a lot of corpses in it. I mean, you could even say that you're having like a house of 1,000 corpses,
Oh.
which is Sissy Kryptonite's next film. Alright, let's hear what you have to say about House of 1,000 Corpses.
So, one, I love Rob Zombie stuff because it's just like out of the box, creepy, just it pushes the limits in certain areas, kind of dirty in certain areas. You see things in that movie that it reminds me of Haunted House, or like
It
when
is very much, especially above, what was the next movie that he did after
oh, I don't know.
House of 1,000 Corpses? Then it was, Lordy, just keep going.
Okay.
I'm
My bad.
off my game right now, obviously.
But no.
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
That took me. Okay.
I don't know why that took me so long to remember. I'm ashamed of myself. I have like thousands of movies up in this noggin.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
No, and it's one of those, like, now that I go back and watch it, you see certain actors, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know the actor's name, don't crucify me, Dwight?
Oh, yeah. Rainn Wilson, I believe is his name.
Yeah, it gets turned into, like, this, like, mermaid-looking
Yeah.
person, and it's creepy, and I watch a lot of kids' movies, so it's one of those, it's definitely not kid-friendly,
Oh, yeah.
and it's weird, and like I said, it reminds me of a haunted house.
I could definitely understand that.
Plus, it's not the best quality of movie by any means,
I
and
think that's intentional, though.
but I like that about it. Yeah.
I do like the fact that, like, if you go and watch The Devil's Rejects afterwards, The Devil's Rejects is very specific on which characters they focus on, whereas House of 1,000 Corpses will just throw a minor character in there, and that feels more realistic to that type of thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, who the world is this random dude in the basement? They're like,
Yeah.
does it matter? He's an insane, like, redneck zombie thing. Just go with it.
He wants to kill you.
He wants to kill you. You don't need an explanation at this point. That's almost the problem. Explain those characters.
Right.
I am excited to get to meet some of the actors though.
We are going to be going to a horror movie convention in 2 weeks where we will be meeting some of the actors. That's going to be featured on this channel also. That's going to be a fun video to do. Have you seen
The
House of
lineup?
1,000 Corpses?
I feel like I've seen it like once or twice my entire life, but I do not remember it.
Yeah.
It's really creepy and awesome. These kids kind of pretty much get kidnapped by this, lured by a clown. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, they do get low. He's gonna be there.
He's gonna be there.
Yeah. Spalding will be at the convention that we're gonna go to. Hopefully he'll like just come up to us and like rip out some of our organs, almost like it's Repo the Genetic Opera. Oh, that's my next film. I'm gonna keep doing this the best I can. The best I can. But yeah, Repo the Genetic Opera is my number 3. And the fact that we're doing films that aren't necessarily horror films, I needed to include a musical because I am a musical junkie. And the fact that you have this, and this was a close one for me because I only wanted to put one musical on here.
And that's hard.
And it's difficult. It's very difficult because you have, Little Shop of Horrors. You have, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street with Sweeney Todd. It's a hard one. But Repo the Genetic Opera is one of those ones where the music gets stuck in my head.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Alexa Vega in it. This girl that we were like Spy Kids girl.
Yeah, but she pulls off that role so well.
And that random cameo from Joan Jett.
Yes.
Right.
It's so out of nowhere. And then you have the librarian from Buffy the Vampire Slayer that
That
nobody...
has one hell of a good voice.
He has an amazing voice. He does like this amazing voice, but then he's also almost has this Hannibal Lecter-esque like persona about
Definitely.
him when he's going into his different mind frames, and it's an amazing movie. The music is great. It's obscure as hell.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those films, I don't know how more people don't know about it. Like, if you're one of these nerdy people, which all of you are that's watching, you've probably seen Rico the Genetic Opera. But go and go and ask your normie friends about it, and they're gonna look at you like you're insane. Like, you mean that movie? Because there was another Rebo movie that had a very similar plot, but it wasn't a musical. It wasn't. They're gonna think you're talking about that one, and likely, or probably not, because that movie's not that well known either. To be completely honest with you, but like seriously, it's one of those movies. I had to put this as my top musical for it, even though I'm a Little Shop of Horrors is right there at it. I do love that Little Shop of Horrors.
We can only have one musical.
You can only have one.
Damn the
Is the rule. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on about this movie, but I guess it's time for me to hush. And go on to Katie Kryptonite's next one.
My number 2. So, Hush is an amazing suspenseful film that I only learned about around the time that it came out. It came out in 2016. So, there is a woman who is she's deaf and mute. That's what she is. And someone is trying to break into her house, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Is he gonna get in? How is he gonna fight? Or how is she gonna fight him off? Is she gonna know if he gets in? You know, it's just all of this. I'm on the edge of my seat the whole time, like, oh gosh, he's gonna break in, and she's not gonna know, and it's amazing.
So it's one of those things when you take away somebody else's senses, your senses are essentially taken away too. Mm-hmm. And that adds to a lot of the suspense. And I'm getting that definitely feel from how you like to view your Halloween. You like the suspense of things.
I do.
Which is above gore, which is above just the aesthetic of creepy anxiety, and things of that nature are really what you're looking for your Halloween-esque feel.
I want my heart to pound when I'm getting into the Halloween mood.
I can definitely understand that. That's a difficult thing to bottle almost.
It is.
Because you can put the creepiest guy in a mask and put him on a movie, but if you make it where people feel defenseless, it's so much scarier.
Yeah.
And you play into that with video games sometimes.
Oh,
too.
definitely.
If you put a video game where you have limited ammo, you're feeling a lot more suspense. You're feeling a lot more anxiety. You're feeling. So when you put that into a movie aspect as well, I can definitely understand why that's scary to some people.
I really like that movie too. One thing that was scary to me is it can happen. It's not like this person was this big buff guy.
No.
It wasn't a scary monster person or mutations. It is a normal person, and he's even like lying to these people and murdering, people who are trying to help.
Yeah.
And it's just the realism of it all. And for us, I think the thought of someone breaking into your home is a little more real.
Yeah.
We've had issues with people breaking in
Yeah,
way
it's
back
happened
when.
multiple times.
Yeah, and so I think for, especially Katie, that not knowing
Is awful. It's terrifying.
and so having a movie where it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah. That's how you feel the whole movie. Is just, oh no.
And you're sitting, this girl, she'll just be like sitting there like, oh, everything's fine. And you see him like in the window and you're like, chick.
He's right
And
there.
he'll tap on the window and you're like,
She's deaf.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny at that point, but
I definitely feel you on that one. So let's kick it off into Sissy Kryptonite's number 2.
it is Halloween Town.
The first one specifically, which I'm a fan of too, Calabar's Revenge.
I liked that one, but not as much. The bad guy in the first one, when he's in the movie theater, freaked me out a lot more as a kid. It terrified me. I don't know why. Seeing it now, I was like, why am I afraid of that?
You were really little when it came out, too.
I was, but once again, because I was little, it brings me back. You know, all of the Halloweens do, but especially the first one, just because it was what started it all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it is one of those things of, it's a world building kind of thing with that series. Oddly enough, you know, as much as we talk about like world building with like, you know, Harry Potter and so on and so forth, you still got that with Halloween Town. You were learning this world, you know, through Marnie, this little girl, you know, that everyone felt that way when you were Marnie's age of, oh, I would love to be something more than I am, and then you get thrust into this world, and once you're thrust into it, you find out it's a lot bigger of a world than what you realized it was. So, I mean, it's a cute movie. It's great for kids. I want that taxi driver to drive every taxi.
Yes, or now it'd be Uber, but you know.
Let him Uber me around. I'm down for that.
He would get all the tips.
And it's a cute series, and I love all of them, even when they changed the actress for Marnie in the fourth one. It's a great series.
Not as good.
It's not
later
as good.
on.
The first two are the best ones, then it became a little bit more, even more Disney Channel original than it already was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that was a good thing about Halloween Town, the first and the second. It wasn't the typical, like, cutesy, you know, I really like this guy, and now we're going to go to Paris. Like,
Yeah.
Well, particularly the first one. The second one had the love interest that turned out
That is bad.
not as bad. You're definitely right on that one.
It's not Lizzie McGuire.
The fourth one
Going
straight
back.
up. The fourth one did straight up feel like almost like High School Musical Halloween Town edition.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad, but I still watched it because it's Halloween Town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It was on TV. I'm gonna watch it. What did you think, Katie, of Halloween Town?
Well, obviously I came into it, you know, a little bit after you guys did because I wasn't born.
There is a so for anyone that doesn't know, there's a 9-year difference between me and Katie.
Right.
There's a 6-year difference between us, too.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit of difference of views on Halloween Town.
Definitely.
the baby.
I'm the baby of the family. But I definitely love the Halloween Town movies. You know, to me, it's more of a classic film. It wasn't my childhood, but
Yeah.
I know.
Make us feel old, why don't ya?
Oh, those classics.
Those
But
classics.
I think even like the costuming in the film, because you know I'm really into like costuming and design, that was very. I don't want to say advanced, but I kind of do for its time. It was
Well, and for a
great
Disney Channel
movie.
original.
Yeah.
movie.
The skeleton was done really well.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly
This is a
cheesy.
Disney Channel original movie. They didn't need to be as well done as it was, and it was still kid friendly while
Right.
still giving it that amazing feeling of it as well, though.
But even like I was saying before, if you have like a 2 or a 3-year-old, that's going to be scary to them.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want a
Yeah.
scary movie for a little kid, then it'd be a good one.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a really good film to see with the family, though. I definitely feel like it is, you know, it has a lot of values to it. In fact, you can almost say it has Addams Family values, which is my number 2.
Oh, man.
Now, I do love Addams Family values. Now, the first one is great. I love all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. I even love the old TV show, like the old TV show. I even love the cartoon. But the Addams Family values, that little baby going through all of those scenarios where it should be dying, where they're trying to kill that baby,
Oh yeah.
cracks me up, and them going to camp.
Yes. Oh.
Oh my god. Because everyone's dealt with that little girl in school that thinks that she's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're dealing with a family a lot like
Keep on
ours,
staring at him. I feel weird, like.
we're back talking about Addams Family values. The video cut off just a little bit. I don't really know what happened. We're trying some new equipment out and everything. We probably ran a little bit longer than we were supposed to. Oh well. But we're still talking about Adam's Family Values. And one of the things that you were saying that you thought was really funny was the mustache on the little baby.
Yes.
He has Gomez's mustache.
Which is amazing. He's this like little tiny pale baby, and you just see like,
Yeah, that part is great. And one of the things that makes me think about, though, is Morticia, though, and Gomez. You gotta say, though, you see all these, like, let's just say goth couples like Harley Quinn and Joker and things like that are just awful, horrible couples and everything. You look at Gomez and Morticia.
that's love.
That is love right there. I love them in that. I need to find my Morticia out there, I'm telling you.
He's a little too sappy for me. I'm too much of an asshole to deal with someone like that.
I will speak the little French that I know
To their soul.
Oui, baguette. We surrender.
But I'll do what I can. Alright, so now we have to move on to who's next? Who's next? You're next.
Oh, that's my movie. So, again, with the suspense theme, Your Next is not your average someone broke into my home movie. There's a lot of twists and turns, which obviously I can't go into because spoilers. But I thought that it was going to be your average movie, and it surprised me. And it was a very, very good movie, and I loved the twists and turns in it. And everything that played out in the movie was just perfection.
Could you give like a short description?
It is, there are people in animal masks that are trying to kill the people that are in this house, and there's an ulterior motive?
Yeah.
Ulterior motive to the whole event.
Okay.
So you get a ways through it, and then you find out that it's not quite just as black and white as you thought it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. But that is the type of movie, though. We can't really talk much outside of people in animal masks bust into somebody's house, and stuff ensues, because if you talk more than that, it's gonna ruin the movie.
You're gonna ruin it, yeah.
It really, but why is this your overall for Halloween more than, let's say, your other four were?
I feel like because it was just so surprising to me. I sat down to watch this movie because I was like, this is going to be your typical run-of-the-mill movie.
Yeah.
And it was so surprising. Just watching the movie, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Like, what is happening? Who's in charge? I have no idea what's going on. Why are these people trying to kill these people?
I definitely feel you on that one.
Is it suspenseful like the other ones?
Definitely.
Is it the most suspenseful of the ones that you said?
I wouldn't say that it's the most suspenseful out of the ones that I said. I would definitely say that Hush is more suspenseful. It keeps you on the edge of your seat more.
Yeah.
But for movie quality and it being surprising, definitely Your Next is number one for that.
Yeah. So it's more like, you would just say it's the characters in it.
I think it's the character and the plot line.
Yeah.
It's just more of a...
It's more of a journey through you.
Yeah.
Like a crazy Rocky type of journey.
Yeah.
Like a Rocky horror. Which is your number one.
And, okay, so if we're being honest, anytime Halloween comes around, Rocky Horror is everywhere. You have plays of it, you see it on TV, you try to go and rent it from a movie place and you can't find it because so many other people have been wanting to watch it. And every year it is the one Halloween movie that I feel like a lot of people want to watch.
I can feel you on that. With somebody that goes to a shadow casting almost every year, it is definitely one of those films when I think Halloween, I'm gonna go and see Rocky Horror. We're going this weekend
We are.
to see Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
hard
a
to beat
Halloween
that
movie.
because it's a Halloween movie.
It is the Halloween movie for me though.
It gives me an excuse to dress up like a slutty goth.
Yeah.
Or you could just, go in your underwear.
You can. That's actually something that happens at the shadow castings.
Or golden Speedo.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got the body for I can try. Some people might run away. That'd be scarier than the movie is.
And it's one of those, if you want to dress up, there is a character if you are one that you don't want to show much skin, if you want to show a lot of skin, if you want to be more slutty, if you want to be nerdy, no matter what, there is a character in there that will fit what you want to dress up as.
Well, and it's got some really iconic, fun music to it. It's got some great characters. Tim Curry is amazing. Barry Bostwick is great in it as well. You know, it does have a really fun cast to it. The only problem I have with it is that last third of the movie.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Just don't watch it.
Don't. The last third of the movie, and by that point, everyone is bored, and they're just to the point of, what is going on here?
Yeah, and they veered off. It was going great, and all of a sudden it's like, really? This is how you're gonna end it?
Aliens.
Yeah, it was stupid. We're gonna freeze everybody, and then we're all transvestites. No.
But even above all of that horrible last third act, it's still the quintessential Halloween movie for you.
Exactly. It always will be.
I can definitely. What do you think? You're, which is funny. You're a little bit younger, but even us, we're young for the Rocky Horror crowd. It's an older movie. What is, as somebody that just turned 18, what has been your experience with Rocky Horror? As somebody that's not even, have you done a shadow casting?
I haven't. This weekend is my first shadow casting of Rocky Horror, and I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be a slutty goth as well.
Have you done a shadow casting yet?
No, and I don't know how to be a slutty goth, so
well, get ready, everyone, because they're both virgins.
We gotta be some sort.
Actually, they put a V on your head for virgin if it's your first time.
I'm ready.
Oh, that's a thing that happens in this. It's a real thing. It's quite the show.
Right. I remember, because, you know, my parents liked to show me things when I was young that I probably shouldn't have been watching. I remember being younger and just seeing those red lips pop up on the screen, and I was like, this is the movie, you know?
You're not wrong. Those red lips are iconic in the weirdest
So iconic.
way. It's weird how that one really does associate most people with Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a... The thing that gets me is it's not just a movie. It's an experience, especially when you go to the shadow castings. Because when you go to those castings and you see the people, and there's like the little cues that you have while you're watching the movie that you're supposed to do things and say things. And
I will say I have researched that with like the newspaper.
I don't know if we're allowed to bring that stuff. I'm going to message the place because they've gotten kind of weird about that stuff over the past few years because people have gone logo. So I'm not even sure what we're allowed to bring, so I'm going to message and see what we're supposed to bring.
Right.
Because they've started a thing over the past few that I've been to where you have to buy the stuff there,
Yeah.
and that just seems very un-Rocky Horror Picture Show to me.
You know, a way that you can always tell if somebody has watched that movie before is say, like, oh, Brad, or, you know,
Oh,
Janet.
Brad.
And if they don't say, David, Janet.
My thing is always Rocky. That will forever be the funniest part of that movie to me. Just the way that Rocky looks. Makes me laugh every single time I see that movie, and it's such a little minuscule part of it.
But it's hilarious.
It's the funniest part to me. Ugh. Lord, I swear I gotta give me something to drink, some juice, you know.
Some juice, some
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
My number one is Beetlejuice, and I can't think of a movie that puts me in the mood more than Beetlejuice. As much as people might criticize me for it being a Tim Burton film, people can go ahead and criticize me for that one, but Beetlejuice encompasses Halloween to me. It's a scary house. It's quirky. The costumes in it are great.
Amazing.
Michael Keaton is fantastic. Winona Ryder has been my crush pretty much since like everything that she was in the 90s pretty much. You know, even take me back to Heather's even. The movie is just everything I could want from a Halloween movie. The only thing that's keeping it from not being Rocky Horror is the fact that it's not a musical, aside from the dinner scene. The dinner scene is one of the greatest. I remember being a kid and just thinking that scene, it was terrifying.
Oh
It
yeah.
was so
Hilarious.
funny. Like I can't think of a way to beat the feel of that for Halloween, because it is Halloween.
Even around Halloween and I think middle school, our music teacher, Mr. Bowling, played that scene
Oh, yeah.
in class.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those films that it's gonna be on TV, and I don't care what part of the movie it's at. I'll
Oh, yeah.
turn it on and I'll pick it up no matter where it's at. I'm gonna love every second of it. It's such a fun, silly film in the best kind of way that you really. I can't think of a movie in the past 10 years it's anything like it.
Well, and you know, even it makes me think of Halloween also because when we went through the haunted hayride,
Yeah.
you know, one of our dad's friends dressed up like Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, that was great. He's the ghost with the most. I loved it. It was great. And it was funny because the guy actually he had like a little buzzer, and so when we tried to call him out, it was like, I love your movie, or he presses the little buzzer, and we all jump, and it's like, I like your movie too, haha. And it was great. It was funny. But that movie, and it's so much more than just Beetlejuice. It's the couple, you know, trying to figure out how this all even works. It's so,
And then people judging them because they don't know how to be dead.
yeah. and the fact that they're trying so hard to scare the new family that's in there, and they're just like ignoring them. Like, you know, the wife is like in the closet dead, and they just push her aside like, bye. Like, we don't care.
They even got a point of putting like sheets over themselves though, like the oldest ghost thing ever.
It makes fun of like common motifs for a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's great. That movie is my number one. And I love the fact that you guys had different number ones. We made sure that none of us had the same movies in there. You know, so it's good that we've had this many. I'm gonna get our dad on this weekend to put his 5 Halloween movies, because he's gonna probably throw some old school stuff in there. It's
Having a
gonna-
whole different perspective, yeah.
It's a different perspective, and that's why I like to do this, because we do have different perspectives. We do have some age differences. We have very different ways about everything.
I think you can really tell our age differences through our picks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that you can really tell. But I do have, like I said before, there are certain things that we would love to put on our list, but I have a strict rule: you can't put things in the same kind of feel. Yeah, because I want to show more than just Halloween is scary, or more than it's just like a goth wonderland.
It's for everybody.
I like showing the different aspects of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I really think that we did well on this. I look forward to seeing what everyone's top horror movies are going to be. But before we get to that, next week we're going to be covering our top 5 TV show specials for Halloween. I know, that's always a fun one for me. So you find a lot of your TV shows that cover like a Halloween episode. There's some great ones. Community had a great one.
Oh yeah.
But it was great seeing everyone out here. So we're going to end this video, and I hope to see everyone again soon. So let's see. First off, we had Katie Kryptonite in her first video, Sissy Kryptonite for her week 2, and I'm Katie Kryptonite as always, and I will see you guys again